Hello, beautiful people. It's Karen here. I hope you are having a sublime day. It's lunchtime, and I am going to go and make a super simple but amazingly delicious meal. I am going to do salmon stuffed with spinach, and then I'm going to use the juices that the salmon cooked in to make a garlic butter sauce that I'm going to pair this with. So let's go take a look at the ingredients that we'll need to make this dish. In order to make this dish, you will need salmon, of course. I have an entire salmon here, but I am only going to cut 2 fillets out of this for lunch because that's all I'll need. So when you're making this dish, you can either buy individual fillets or you can have your butcher cut the number of fillets that you'd like if you know that you're not going to use the salmon immediately. Then let's move on to the filling. For the filling of this dish, you will need 4 ounces of cream cheese. You want to make sure that you've brought that to room temperature before you start making this preparation. You'll need about 4 ounces of spinach. You want to thaw that as well and make sure that you've drained any excess liquid off of your spinach before you start making your mixture. You want about a 1/4 cup of freshly grated Parmesan, and you want to grate this very finely. And you'll need about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. In order to make the garlic butter, if you'd like, you'll need some fresh lemon juice, and you'll also need some additional butter and another teaspoon of the minced garlic. And you'll need a little bit of olive oil and some lemon when you are preparing this dish. We're going to bake this dish. You could also pan fry it if you'd like, but I'm going to pop it in the oven for about 15 minutes, actually 10 to 15 minutes, depending upon the thickness of your fillets. These are going to be fairly thin, so they're probably only going to take about 10 minutes to cook. So let's get started with the filling first, because that's the main preparation that you'll need to stuff the salmon with. Let's mince some garlic. When you are mincing your garlic, make sure, if you are planning on doing the garlic butter sauce that you're going to pair this with, and that sauce is optional, so you may not actually need to do this step, but if you're going to make the garlic butter sauce, make sure that you mince enough garlic when you are mincing the first time so that you don't have to come back and do it a second time and waste a whole lot of time. Garlic is minced, and now we want to grate a bit of Parmesan, about a 1/4 cup, as I said. But remember to preheat your oven to 350, because once you get this filling mixed up, it's going to take only 10 minutes for this to cook. So you want to have your oven already hot. So all of my ingredients are here. I have grated my Parmesan. I have minced my garlic. I started with 4 ounces of frozen spinach, which I thawed. I removed any excess liquid. I'm about to add that to that. And then I'm going to add 4 ounces of this cream cheese that has been sitting at room temperature for about 2 hours or so. And that's going to be the filling. Cream cheese has been added, and we are just making sure that everything's uniform. When you make this mixture, if you have a little bit too much, which I am definitely going to have a little bit too much for the 2 fillets that I'm going to make for lunch, you can save it for later, or this makes a great dip. So simply pop it in the refrigerator if you're not ready for it, and then put it in the oven for about 10 minutes, pull it out, add some sour cream, and you've got a tasty dip. So this is going to be ready in about 2 seconds, and then we're going to move over onto the fillets. We've got the salmon here. I'm going to cut 2 nice fillets out of this. I'm going to cut them a little bit wider than normal because this salmon is actually somewhat thin, but these are going to be very nice for lunch. When you are cooking salmon, make sure that you cook it skin side down. That will prevent it from cooking too fast and overcooking. And that's going to be the same process if you are going to pan fry this. You want to start it in the pan skin side down and then flip it after it's cooked skin side down for a few minutes. Now that you've got your 2 fillets, you want to make a pocket in the fillet, and then you're going to stuff that with your mixture. And you want to make sure that you don't cut all the way through, because that will prevent all of your mixture from totally cooking out of the pan when you actually put it in the oven. You want to put your hand on the top of the fillet and just very gently make a pocket with this. You want to make sure that you're cutting in the center of the fillet, so that way there's no overcooking on one side or the other, that it will cook really evenly. You want to stuff each of your fillets with about 1 to 2 tablespoons of your mixture, depending upon the size of the fillet. You don't want to really overstuff this, because if you do, you'll get a lot of your mixture that's cooked out of the fillet during the cooking process. Now that you stuff your fillets, you are about ready to put them into a very shallow pan and pop them into your oven, which has been preheated at 350. Before you do that, you want to brush them with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of fresh lemon juice. You want to do that on both sides. And then you want to salt them. So now you want to do your fresh lemon juice. And a little bit of salt. And you want to salt both sides, even your skin side. You want to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of your pan, because you are cooking the skin side down. Pop them in the pan and put them in your oven at 350 for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending upon the size of your fillets. Once your salmon comes out of the oven, you want to take the pan juices, toss it in a skillet with a little bit of butter, your minced garlic. We're going to add the lemon juice and a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's going to be the garlic butter sauce that we're going to pair this salmon with. This tastes so good. I could just eat this garlic butter sauce by itself. I typically serve the garlic butter sauce on the side because I never know how much butter someone may or may not want, so they can add it to their own taste. So there you have a perfectly delicious summer lunch that takes you less than a half an hour from start to finish, all your prep time, and it is gorgeous, delicious, and fragrant. You can pair it with anything you like, including a salad or any type of side. I've opted to pair this salmon with a scallion pancake. But as I said, this dish goes with just about any side you like. So the choice is yours. Hello, beautiful people. It's Karen. I hope you enjoyed the recipe for spinach stuffed salmon. If you did, please hit the subscribe button so that you never miss another one of my recipes. Until we meet again, think Sublime Thoughts.